Hello.
Hi.
I'm going to, do you want me to, well, let me make sure that you have all to share your screen and all that jibber jab. Good. Okay. We do have people chilling in the cut. Do you want me to wait till the top of the hour? Or people, it is one person.
Are you recording already?
I am.
Okay. You can. Hey, it says I'm in here as a guest.
Yes. I'll make you host. Stand by.
Hope my camera isn't on. It's
It
not.
it is not.
My bad.
I was here for it. How are y'all doing?
I
Y'all gonna let
personally
me,
doing great.
I was about to say, y'all gonna let me talk to myself? Gosh. How's everybody else doing? Joyce, ma'am, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
How's everybody else doing?
Pretty good. It's Friday.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Holiday break at work starts next week, so I'm excited.
I see the unicorn is a hit, Tanisha.
Yay! I was trying to remember who I got it from so I could give you but I figured that whoever it was would let me know because I put in there like, hey, this came from a member of the squad. Is that you, Joyce? Let me is that who made it? Who made it?
Yeah, I made that unicorn. Yeah,
Okay, let me
with Dolly.
should I tag you? Is it okay if I tag you?
Sure.
Okay.
But I think the idea about the swag is a good idea, huh?
It is. I want to see like some stickers, you know what I'm saying? I want to see all of that. I don't know if you could trademark intellectual property of AI, but you know what? That's your hurdle if you want to take it.
Okay, I prompted. I mean, I gave the suggestions. It did the
Look,
work.
that was you. Sure. Pump it up,
And
pump it up.
sunshine and rain.
That's right. Miss Joyce got her GFACT now.
Is that a fact?
Official.
A G?
Yeah. Wait for that
Official.
next one. What's the next one? Next step.
I have dropped into the chat the um what is it called? The form. You are being requested within said form to enter a number between 1 and 50 because I will be giving away some things. And I think that the first person who is going to be getting some of the things is Tracy because she was the first person that hopped in here. So congratulations to Tracy.
Thank you.
And you know what? Somebody came in here singing. Who was that was singing? They deserve some too. Who was that?
That was me.
April. Okay. Thank you. Congratulations, ma'am. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. I am Tanisha Martin, very excited to be here. We've got some of the amazing folks from our leadership team here also. I see Kawana, Gina. So if you have questions, Rebecca, if you have questions, you can IM them or DM them or whatever it is, if you're afraid to ask. But I think most of you know me. So very happy to be here. This is the BGH Q4 Town Hall, and I'm always very excited to do these simply because I want to hear feedback. I want to know how we're doing and how we can improve, just as a matter of process improvement. But then also I want to make sure that we are continually improving and we are continually getting better. So I will go ahead and get started. Oh, I am the executive director and founder of Black Girls Hack. If you don't know me, I do see some folks named here who I've never seen before. I am a manager and executive director and founder, and I am also a penetration tester. And yeah, and I'm all about world domination. So that's a thing as well. So excited to be here. So let's go ahead and get started. So who are we? Black Girls Hack is a training-focused organization that was created to help increase diversity in cybersecurity and help bridge the gap between what is taught in educational institutions and what is necessary for careers in cybersecurity. So one of the biggest, I guess, myths that I want to dispel immediately is that if you are not a Black girl, that you cannot do all of the things. So Black Girls Hack is open to everybody. Our mission is specifically to encourage and to support the place of Black women in the space, but our training programs, as everything we do, are open to everybody. So if you're like, hey, and I've got like quite a few of these emails and DMs like, hey, I'm a white guy. Is it okay if of course it's okay. The only line in the sand that I draw for anything is that you not be a jerk. The other thing that I would say is that some of our programs, depending on what they are, may require US residency, but other than that, our programs are open to all regardless of where you are at. So mission of Black Girls Hack and BGH Foundation is to increase representation, empower Black girls and women in the field of information security and cybersecurity through training, mentoring, resume review, and access to low-cost resources in an inclusive environment. And that is basically in a nutshell what it is that we do. We have a bunch of training, mentoring, resume reviews, and most of our programs are very free, if not low cost. We have started recently, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. We have started recently requiring a deposit that is refundable for people who are engaging in our programs, because we are spending an expense and then people will just say, hey, I'm dropping out after 2 weeks. So the deposits are always refundable in the event that you complete the program and get all of the certifications. And we do not charge anything, especially for our training programs. We do not charge any costs, as far a part of the organization, as we take you from 0 to whether it's OSCP or 0 to, SOC manager or whatever the case may be. So next up. So who are we? We are outside and we're everywhere. I mentioned that BGH is open to everybody except for jerks. We don't have a graphic here for the jerks because, our membership for jerks is absolutely at 0 because that is by design. We want people to feel supported and inclusive in this space. That is what it is that we're trying to do. But we are outside, we are from everywhere. So right now, the organization, according to our membership demographics, shout out to. Was that for me? No, okay. Shout out to our project manager who generated all of these crafts. She's absolutely amazing. Kawana, I saw her in here. But we are 78% female, maybe about 20% male, and then maybe about 2% either non-binary, bigender, or other. Racially, we are 80% African American, 5% Latin or Hispanic, about 1% multiracial, 4% white, about 4% Asian, and maybe about 1% biracial. So we've got a little bit of everything under the rainbow, and I absolutely love that for us. About 87% of the folks that are in our membership are from the United States, but we've got people in Europe, Canada, North America, South America, Africa, so all over the place. So like I said, the only barrier to entry for people who are not in the United States are most of our programs are run in Eastern Standard Time. So, but we literally have people who are up at 1 o'clock in the morning in Germany or 3 o'clock in the morning in Africa to attend our programming so that they can increase their certifications and their training for careers in cybersecurity. And then far as age, this is one of my favorite parts because most people assume when they hear Black Girls Hack that our programs are for people who are like in high school or in K through 12. But in reality, we've only got maybe about 1% of our students less, or 1% of our members less than 18, about 20% between 18 and 25, 60% between 26 and 40. That was a shocker for me. 18% between 41 and 60, and maybe about 0.5% over 60. We also had a young lady who dropped into our conference last year who was 5 years old. So she might officially be our youngest. All right, so we're educated and we're diverse. So we've got folks who have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, high school diplomas, GEDs, and folks who have anything in between. You don't have to necessarily have any type of education, but people assume things. Can I get everybody to mute their their what was it? Their microphones. All right, and then career levels. So a lot of folks are in the mid-level. They've been in the workforce for some time. We have got maybe 20% students, 30% almost entry level, right? So a lot of people are transitioning. So if you take a look at some of our programming that we're going to discuss in a couple of minutes, you'll see that a lot of our programs are focused on that 0 to whatever the goal is, because we want people who are transitioning, people who are entry level, which you'll see according to this chart is about 30 to 40%. And then if you include students, that's about 60% of our population are people who are relatively newer to the workforce. So we want to make sure that they have opportunities for advancement within the cybersecurity space. All right, so what is the purpose of the town hall? The town hall is meant to let you know what it is that we offer, what's working, what's not. What do we need from you? But then also, what do you need from us in terms of partnerships and inserts? I like to joke with my team that I keep my thigh out. And what I typically mean by that is that I am constantly out here trying to promote BGH to get us sponsorships and to get us partnerships so that we can get new and diverse trainings, because the needs of the population have greatly grown since we started 4 years ago. I had assumed when I started Black Girls Hack that everybody just wanted to be in offensive security because, I mean, why wouldn't you be? But what I've learned since then is that some of us are blue teamers, some of us are in GRC, some of us are lawyers, or in other spaces within the cybersecurity umbrella. So we want to make sure that as the needs of our community grow, that the organization's offerings also grow. So that's the purpose of the town hall, is for us to get feedback. At some point, I will ask you to unmute yourselves and to contribute. And let me know how you feel. What do you think we're doing well? This is a safe space. Like I said, be respectful, because again, there's no jerks allowed in this space. But I'm super excited to see all of you that came out to support this, and I'm excited to hear how we're doing and how you want us to improve. So what do we have? We've got study groups. We've got two types of study groups within BGH. We've got peer-led and we've got instructor-led. So in January, we are starting an instructor-led Security Plus and an instructor-led CISSP. The application for the instructor-led CISSP is already available in Teams, and certified in cybersecurity. So the peer-led, we have a peer-led version of the Security Plus. We also have a peer-led version of the CISSP. I believe that is on Wednesdays. So those are our study groups. So those are just, people who are looking to study for a certain certification. So in the past, we've had study groups for EJPT, for Network Plus. If we have a group of people who are trying to study towards the same thing, then we will, set up a study group for you. If there are enough people, we will set up an instructor-led version of it to provide you guys with whatever you need in terms of learning experiences. And generally, our study groups meet about once a week, unless they decide that they want to meet more than that. So workshops, we do a lot of workshops. Some of them are one-off, some of them are every week. So our practical skills labs, which is at the bottom, those are basically held 5 or 6 days a week. So those are things like our Ethical Hacking Explained, Intro to Networking, Ethical Hacking Explained Blue and Slow. We have a whole bunch of hands-on keyboards types of workshops that we do that are meant to provide hands-on keyboard skills. Again, we're trying to provide an added value between what is typically taught in schools, which is theory and not so much practice. And we're trying to give you the actual ability to be able to practice. So some of those workshops that we did last year, Bring a Hacker to Work days, and those are actually more of our day in the life workshops. And I think we did a couple of these last year, but I'm hoping that we're going to bring this back. And these are basically just a day in the life of hackers to figure out what people do in different jobs. If you have not checked out our YouTube channel, we've got some of our older Bring a Hacker to Work days, which are on our YouTube channel, absolutely amazing. One of the workshops that I do in January is called New Year, New Lab. So this is something where we will actually set up in VirtualBox or VMware. We will set up basically a home lab, And we would do that using like a broken web app or a damn vulnerable web app, and then like a Kali box. And depending on how much memory you have, we may add one other box in there. But basically, it's like, hey, how do I learn offensive security and defensive security in the comfort of my home without having to spend any money? It's like basically, how do I, avoid having to, go and get an account in like one of the cloud providers to set up labs, and it's free. We also have a partnership with Rangeforce, who has been with us pretty much since the beginning. So they offer memberships for all of our members. So we have that, and that has a lot of red, blue, purple, yellow. They have all of the team trainings in there. They've got like some specific tool related training in there. So there's a lot of things in Rangeforce. We have intro to networking and other networking related workshops. A part 2 of the New Year New Lab. So the New Year New Lab is meant to just set up your home lab. Now that I got a new lab, what do I do with it? That's the New Year Who This. So basically what to do with your new lab. I am old and I make corny, auntie jokes. So in my mind, this is absolutely creative and lovely. So we're just going to go with it. We have intro to capture the flag practice for people who are interested in getting into CTF competitions. Friday Night Labs, which is basically right after this at 7 p.m. And then you can check out all these events when we post them on our website, which is blackgirlshack.org/events. And then Over the Wire Bandit, we're actually going to have, I think, some of these coming up in the new year as well. If not Over the Wire Bandit, it'll probably be Over the Wire Natus. And then Lunch and Learns with different companies. We have one next week with Amazon. And I think that they're doing thread hunting, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, like I mentioned, Monday through most days, we have a practical skills labs. So, and those events are all on our website. So partnerships, as I mentioned, I have my thigh out on a regular basis. So we have training partnerships with Grow with Google. So Google has a range of, I think it's maybe 6 or 7 different certifications, which have a whole bunch of training available out there. We are actually going to start some Microsoft training programs this upcoming year, in addition to incorporating them within our cloud security training program, which is starting in January. Those applications are also open in Teams. The Cyber Mentor, we've got some PNPT training programs that are currently underway. And we also have training from other partners like Now Secure, Cloud Academy, INE. IAM used to be a National Consortium of Minority Cybersecurity Providers, but now it's Cyversity. Rangeforce, Pentester Labs, CompTIA, EC Council, Women in Cybersecurity, Next Gen Moguls, Capital University. That is if you are looking to go back to school. I think we have a discount with them towards their undergraduate and master's programs. And then Blacks in Technology, they actually have like some Linux training and some other things as well. So the other added benefit for us and who we partner with is that we also get opportunities to do things like attend conferences. So we frequently have tickets for these conferences, and we attend just as a matter of representation for us, so that people can know that we exist and we have training that we're trying to help people with. So we've got a lot of partnerships. So if you, as we open it up for feedback towards the end of the presentation, let me know who you think we should partner with, if we're not already partnered with them. And I am happy to put my thigh back out and figure out who else we can partner with. So what do we offer for free? BGH has 2 types of memberships. We have an absolutely free membership, which is open to anybody except for jerks. And we have a paid membership, which is $49 per year. So what we offer for free. So we offer all of our workshops available for free. We have a jobs related channel, which has a couple of recruiters in there, but my hope is to expand that out more in 2024. We've got resume review, mock interviews, hands-on trainings. We've got a kids program for students that we do in coordination with Temple University and Raíces Cyber. And those are typically held during the summer. We've got a 9th through 12th grade program. So if any of you have any teens that are looking to get Security Plus certified, we are starting those programs in January. So Those applications are up now. And then we also have our red, blue, and cloud-based training programs, which are pretty much up and functional at this point. And then we are next year in Q1, I am hoping to actually get people enrolled in our blue team one, GRC, incident response, and possibly an AI-based training program. So we offer these programs for free. The red team and the cloud-based ones, they have a deposit, as I mentioned, it's a $50 deposit. And after you finish the 18-month program, you get it back. So that, again, that program is just to make sure that you are attending and we do not have, teachers and resources that we're expending for people who are just going to decide, next week that they want to go and do something else. So what do we offer for paid membership? So we have a channel within Teams that is called Project Brain. And within Project Brain, this is our membership channel. There are a lot of different offers that are put out there, access to conferences for free, early access to program giveaway scholarships. They also are able to apply to our BGH Cares program. So our BGH Cares program is our giving back program where we allow our members to basically apply for things like tuition or laptops or training certifications, things of that nature. And it's basically our giving back. So our goal each year is to try to give back 10% of what we bring in back to our community to help their training and educational needs. So paid members are able to apply for those programs. Discount on swag and certifications, discount on paid training workshops. We don't do a bunch of training programs. We actually did one, I think maybe 2 months ago with Davin DJ Alpha Security. We have a couple of scholarships that we do annually for education and training that you're eligible to apply for, then early access to our partner mentoring workshops and events. So that's what a paid membership gets you. And I think that the people who actually have paid membership, which I think is maybe 15, 20% of our population, they will tell you that it is worth it. At least I hope that that's the case. That's what I've heard. All right, so training programs and academies. We have a training program called BOSA, which is SANS Brain Offensive Security Academy. So this is basically where we partnered up with SANS, and our first cohort has finished their GFAC. They've got 2 different certifications, but that program is completely free. By the time they're done with that program, they will have 3 SANS-related certifications, and which will help them to be able to get jobs in the industry. We have a red team program, which is 0 to OSCP. And all of these training programs are available on our website in detail, blackgirlshack.org/training. So the red team is 0 to OSCP. The cloud-based, it has about 8 certifications in it. It is starting in January. And it is basically, you get certified in cybersecurity, security plus, cloud plus, and then AWS, Azure, and GCP foundation level. And then you can specialize and you can do 2 additional certifications in either the AWS, Azure, or GCP track, depending on where your world domination plans lie. We've got a practical network penetration testing program, which is through our partnership with the Cyber Mentor, a blue team training program, which is 0 to SOC manager, but we're providing skills in incident response and SOC training, certified ethical hacker training program, INE, which has, I think there's maybe about 4 or 5 certifications that we have different training programs with them. I mentioned our Growth Google certificate program. So we have that membership available to our members for free. And then digital forensics training program. And we have an intro to Python training program, which is currently going on. It started a couple weeks ago, I think. So those are our different training programs, academies. Our goal is to basically try to run those at least twice a year, unless people say, hey, I don't want this anymore, and I want to do something different. So you have the opportunity to say that a little bit later. All right, so coming soon. I mentioned that we have the CISSP instructor-led study group, which is coming in January. The signups for that are up, and I think we're going to have a group of about 25 people, and we've got, I want to say 15, 20 people that have been signed up for this. When I checked it earlier today. We also have a digital forensics training program, digital forensics / incident response training program, which is also going to start in January, or at least January, February, we'll see, as well. And our blue team training program will actually have its pilot cohort coming in January as well. So those are some of the things that are coming in addition to whichever practical skills labs we're going to continue, and we'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. All right, so I am going to open this up to questions so we can talk about what is working. But first, I want to show you guys a couple of things. So our practical skills labs. So this is actually our 6-day-a-week programs that we run thanks to our sponsorship from Google. And this was set up by our project manager, Kawana, so shout out to her again. And they pretty much are the same type of story as our other ones today. Our programs are open to everybody just by the nature of the program being called, Black Girls Hack. We tend to have more females, but it's open to everybody. So we've got about 80% of people who participate in those weekly hands-on workshops, 20% male, and then the remaining 1% are non-binary or prefer not to say. So age range, about the same things as we saw with the other ones. So we have people in a wide variety. So don't feel like, hey, I'm too young or hey, I'm too old. Open to everybody except for jerks. Same thing for race. Again, we're called Black Girls Hack. So people, most of the folks that we have in the organization are Black, but our programs are open to everybody. And we welcome everybody. So workshops attended. We had a bunch of practical skills workshops over the course of the year. Most of them are hands-on workshops like Friday Night Labs, which are called like Ethical Hacking Explained. So we've got a blue version of that. We've got the Ethical Hacking Explained is basically offensive security. So it's a red team, and we offer it at various speeds. So we have like a slow version, which is for people who are like, hey, I need to be able to ask questions. We've got the normally paced ones. And then we've got one that are for intermediate for people who are like, hey, I'm not a baby toddler anymore. I mean, a baby hacker anymore. Maybe I'm a toddler hacker at this point. So for those folks. So you can see here that for the most part, the folks that filled out the surveys, they go to Friday Night Labs, which I mentioned are Friday nights with Lamar. They are at 7 p.m. Networking Basics, which is taught by Malik. Range Force Weekly, which I believe is Stacy. I hope I'm not butchering that, but I feel like that it is. And then Ethical Hacking Explained Blue and Slow, which is also Malik. All right, so our instructors, for the most part, most of the folks are in Malik's classes. He teaches twice a week. Lamar teaches once a week on Fridays, and then Stacy teaches, I think, I want to say maybe Wednesday or Sunday, and then some folks had Garrett. We had a bunch of instructors throughout the course as we've offered a whole bunch of different classes. 80% of the people, they had been here before, but 13% have never. This is their first time attending a workshop when they dropped into one of these. So you don't have to come, week to week. You can just stop in when you've got time. It's completely okay. And we also got some feedback on the instructor's knowledge, but all of our folks are absolutely amazing. So I am going to hop back over to the what is working, and I'm going to unmute you guys, and you can let me know what has been working. What are we doing well? We'll start off on a positive note. So let me see. If you'd like to unmute yourself, please let me know, and don't feel free to speak freely. Somebody break the ice. I'm going to call on you. All right, Dejanay. Dejanay. Okay, Tracy, what's up? InfoSec Sherpa, what are we doing well? Oh, you couldn't unmute. Let me see. It says that you're allowed to unmute yourself. Let's see. How about now?
Hey, I think I can talk now.
Yay! All right, shoot.
So, well, first I wanted to start with a confession slash apology. I know that Tanisha had spoken to you in the past about some session ideas or webinar ideas. And I have not fulfilled on that, and I promise to do better next year. I love this community. This is 2023 is a rough year for me, so I'm trying to be positive that 2024 is going to be better. I just think this is a great community. I think you are very open and accessible. Um, I'm honored that I'm a part of it, even if it's just a tiny amount. I appreciate that you let me give the pre-Vegas talk. I think it was like
Yes.
2 years in a row now. And that's a tradition I'd like to keep if I'm allowed. Just to prep the Black Girls Hacks folks to what to expect in Vegas. Yeah, I mean, I think Black Girls Hack does a good job of keeping its members informed about scholarships and opportunities and learning, and that it's a learning first environment. I mean, sure, we have fun and there's social aspects, but it's not a clique. It's a community of dedicated learning folks. And I'll just stop there. I don't want to take up the whole call, but I love you, Tanisha. And
Thank you.
I love this group. And yeah, I'm just listening and wanted to help kick off and break the ice. So just everybody be great. Let's make BGH even better in 2024.
Awesome. All right. So, real quick before we have the next person, number 27, which is my favorite number. We had two people who filled out the survey response that had 27. You guys have both won either some training or vouchers or something. Reach out to me. And those, I don't know who those people are, but I wrote down them. So very excited for them. All right, Dejanay, can you unmute yourself now? And then next up is Charlene.
Hello everyone. Pretty much same as what Sherpa said. Like the conference was amazing, so definitely that is working.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, right. We're just on the what is working part, right?
Yep. What is
Okay.
working? We're gonna start off high. All right, next up, Charlene.
What is working? You all are providing a great deal of resources for us to use and improve on our skills. So that's what I have to say.
Awesome, thank you. Chantel.
Hi, I kind of want to I basically agree with everything InfoSec Sherpa said. 2023 was a hard year for me, and my family took a financial hit this year with a layoff that I had earlier in the year. And I really just want to say thank you for providing the resources and not necessarily requiring that you have a certain salary amount to be in a program or anything like that. It's been incredibly helpful for me as far as advancing in my career, and I'm forever grateful. And just want to say thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Does anybody else have anything about what is working? Don't be shy.
I'll just add, this is Rashida. I'll just
Yes,
add the different opportunities that have been made available to me personally. I've received several vouchers. I've been in several of the training programs. Actually, still have an exam that I have to take in a few days to finish up my last one. But without you guys and without being in this community, I don't know that I would have gotten half of the certs that I've gotten last year. So thank you for that.
awesome. All right, second, the provided opportunities. Anybody else want to add something about what is working? All right. What is not working? How can we do better? I'm going to call on somebody. I have to. Dejanay, hold on. There you go.
So another attendee messaged me this. They would like to have more swag.
But that's fair. Can you can you guys tell me like what type of swag? Like, let me know what you have in mind. I love swag. But that's easy. Hoodies, okay. Like the actual hoodies or like the, I guess that would be hoodies with the, and hoodies and hats, okay. That's easy. What else? What else is not working? What else can we improve on? Somebody say Jen. DEFCON isn't working. I love the petty. What else isn't working? Jackie.
Hello.
AJ.
Hi.
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. What isn't
Uh,
working? What can we improve on?
I think everything, well, honestly, I want to say it's just like really great from what it's just like really awesome to be a member of Black Girls Hack. But then in terms of what I think could improve, it's not like major or anything, but it could be awesome to have Hack the Box certifications included, like CPTS, because it can help members maybe prep for the OSAP, but you already have the EJPT and PNPT, so those are good too.
But that, I mean, that's an easy thing. I can reach out to them. Who else? Who else has got AJ? I want to pick on people. Anybody else who wants to unmute themselves, let me know what can we improve on?
So for a while, I was getting, I wouldn't say lost, but between the website events and what was happening in teams, there seemed to be like a sort of a disconnect. But
Okay.
as I see in the last few weeks or so, like it's the website events are like current, and so I think it's better. But there seemed to be sort of a disconnect when we moved the teams. That maybe some people might have got lost in the mix, because I did invite someone to join and they were a little confused. They're like, well, I went to the website, but I couldn't really figure out where to go from there. But I think that's gotten a little better.
Awesome. That's fair. What else you guys got for me? I've got thick skin. Bring it. What can we improve? Nothing? Elise. Or Gina. Onboarding was difficult for me to navigate so much available. Is this the onboarding for volunteers or the onboarding for members? Anyways, there you go.
Hi, Tanisha.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. So it's not it's more so being in the DMV, we have a lot of conferences that are here hosted in this area. And I think that having a Black Girls Hack presence at those conferences, like we are at some, but like having if we can get a booth or a table set up with our presence there, I think would be great, because a lot of times when I go to these conferences, I have on a Black Girls Hack shirt, people kind of mix us up with Blacks in cyber. So trying to separate that no, we're Black Girls Hack, although that's another organization, but just to represent us wholly
Gotcha.
there.
Look, I'm out here trying to get us to go to the conferences. A lot of the big conferences that I had applied for had denied us, or they didn't have opportunities that were free. Yeah, if you put your hand up, I can unmute you. I said that everybody can unmute themselves, but I don't know why it's not actually working. So, but I definitely agree that we should be increasing our presence for conferences. Anything else? that we can improve? Is something that's not working, something that is can be improved? Nothing? All right, so next up. Oh, yes, ma'am, April. Let me see if I can unmute you. There you go.
Okay, so before I was saying when I first joined Black Girls Hack, it was difficult for me to kind of find out what was going on within teams because there was so many things and kind of trying to figure out what courses I wanted to take or what I wanted to do. So I was thinking, it would be helpful for new people coming in to kind of have something that can kind of give them an idea of maybe the things that you could possibly do. Because I felt like if it was a training program that was starting, I was just like, oh, let me hurry up and get into this before, it's not any spaces or anything like that. And then something else would come up. And I'm just like, well, I don't know if I want to do that. So I was just saying it was a lot. And I appreciate it being a lot because, it gives everybody something that they could possibly do, but just trying to make up my mind, okay, what steps do I need to take? And I guess that had something to do with too, that I needed to figure out what my path was. And so, yeah.
Yeah, so shameless plug. Tanisha, the individual, is doing a training. And I actually put a note about this in Project Brain where there's like a discount for 25% off. But Tanisha, the human, is doing a training starting in January. It'll be 7 weeks long. It's called World Domination Planning. And it pretty much goes through the same process that I go through with my mentees, which is basically setting it up so that you can figure out, like, once you know what it is that you're doing, how do you identify people who are in that space, that are in that position? What skills do they have to get there? How do you basically develop a roadmap? So it's like career planning for people who are transitioning into cybersecurity. So it talks about how to brand yourself, how to network with people, get involved with multiple groups, things of that nature. So if it happens to be that you get assigned, you can obviously get a mentor for free within BGH. There is a link within Teams for that. But if you are interested, like I mentioned, there's a coupon in Teams and Brain for 25% off, and it's $49 for 7 weeks. So you can get involved in that if you would like. And it's basically like, hey, how do I even approach trying to change jobs? Sue. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how about you?
I'm fine, thank you. So what for me isn't working is that I had signed up to volunteer for, I guess it was like a cloud, setting up some cloud thing a while back. And then like it never took off and I never heard anything about it and things like that. So that's what it kind of like doesn't work.
No, I feel you. So and this may be like that I didn't get your message because we actually had, I think there were like 10 people who started our cloud program. And they, if I'm not mistaken, are getting ready to start like right now, but I think that started at the beginning of December. But I've still got a spot in there, so you can just DM me and I can get you in there. But basically the offer that I've made for the cloud security folks as we were developing that program was, hey, help me to write up a proposal so that I could, basically put my thigh out there and reach out to our Google Cloud, our Azure Cloud, and our AWS Cloud partners and say, hey, we'd really like to be able to do a cloud security training program. This is what we're proposing in terms of the certification. This is what we're proposing for the training. And if you help us to develop that program, that I would guarantee you a spot in that pilot cohort. So for all of our training programs, as I mentioned, they're available for free. They require like either a year or an 18-month commitment in terms of you studying and getting the certifications. And then the one thing that I did implement recently was that you can only be involved in one program at a time, because again, one of the things that we started doing real heavy in 2023 was collecting impact, because our sponsors were saying, hey, if we give you money, where's this money going to go? What are you using it for? They wanted to know who our population was, who are we serving within our community, right? So one of those biggest like determinations for, hey, how are we doing, is how many people did we get certified? How many people passed the training program and were able to go on to get the certifications, right? So I had people who were like, hey, and I think somebody alluded to this earlier, they were like, hey, this program's out there, I'm going to join this program's out here, I'm going to join this. And me, I'm like, hey, I want you to have all the world domination plans. I let people join all of the things. And then we had a whole bunch of people who did not complete the program, but they started it. We provided them with training and whatever, and then they just kind of like ghosted. And then we're sitting here like, hey, we've expended money and resources, and then we can't, even provide our sponsors with, hey, this person passed, right? So that it affects our impact, and it affects our ability to be able to get sponsorship dollars in the future and then continue the programming we do. So we're a volunteer organization. There are some nonprofits out here that are have paid staff. All of our people are working in BGH outside of their 9-to-5 jobs, right? So one of my goals as the executive director next year is to get BGH to the point where our sponsorships are to a point where we can have paid staff, but we're not there yet. We're I don't even think, like, I don't want to discount myself, but I'd say maybe we're 50% to the point where we need to be, just to be able to be stable as an organization to continue the programming that we do, right? It is much easier for us to get money that is specific to specific programs than it is for general operations and keeping the the lights on type of vibe. The BGH lights on, not like Tanisha's lights on. So I think it's important that we provide the training programs, but also I think it's important that we be able to tell the people who are funding the programs, like, where their money is actually being spent. So we have a whole bunch of programs that are open, and that's why I'm letting you guys know now, like, hey, we've got the cloud starting in January, we've got the incident response starting in in January, we've got the blue team starting in January, the red team's already underway, one of the clouds is already started this month. So I'm letting you know what it is that we have going and giving you the opportunity to provide feedback, because what I don't want to happen is we get people who are started, and then January, February, March, when we put out our next group of programs based on the town hall from Q1, the people are like, hey, I don't want to do this other thing. This thing is more closely aligned, right? We need people to actually finish what they start, in terms of actually taking these exams, prayerfully passing them, so that we can get the impact to be able to give back, so we can continue to getting funding. So I am, as much as I am trying to help people take over the world, I am also trying to, run BGH, the business, in terms of making sure that we're continuing to be able to allow people to be able to do all the things that they want to be able to do, right? Because it costs money to do all of these things. So we need to be able to remain operational. So what else do you guys have for me in terms of either what is working or what is not working? Does anybody else have comments that they'd like to talk about? Would it be possible for the volunteer role listings to have more detail? I was eyeing one of the positions, but I couldn't be sure what it entails or if my skills would be a good fit. So quick story. When I started BGH, you'll see this in our volunteer handbook still. I let people pick whatever whatever they wanted their title to be, right? So there wasn't like a bunch of gatekeeping and saying like, hey, you're not qualified to be the executive director, Tanisha, or you're not qualified to be something, right? What I did was say, hey, if this is in line with your world domination plans, it helps you, and it's something that you're willing to try at, make it happen. Let's do it, right? And I've had absolutely freaking amazing human beings who, maybe on paper didn't look like they should be able to do the things. But then, like, when you actually look at them doing the things, they're out here like killing it. So I say that to say, we have a whole bunch of positions that are available on our volunteer page. The titles are there, who they report to, how many positions we're looking for. I literally have meetings with people where they'll say, hey, I'm interested in this position or this position. Can you talk to me about what it includes? So, if you say, hey, this is the position I'm interested in, I'll have you talk to whomever the C-level person is, or if it's a C-level position, I'll have you talk to me about what's included, and then we'll talk about it. And then, there can be some growth within the position, because like I said, at the volunteer, as a volunteer organization, it's important that one, we're helping people to get the skills and experience that they need to be able to take that and turn it into interviewing, and to be able to talk about it, what they want to do in terms of their work, their careers. So I say all that to say, we can definitely include some more information about the positions, but realistically, I have like a warm and fuzzy about what it needs to, but what exactly, and what is the scope, and what is the day-to-day look like. And our volunteers are requested to do 12 hours a month. Some of the volunteers obviously do a lot more than 12 hours a month. But the minimum that we ask for volunteers is 12 hours a month. So next question. Is it possible to have information about how and where to get CEUs for cert recertification and workshops that have projects to do for portfolio? Absolutely. I love that. We have a whole bunch of training through a lot of different training partners, but we've never actually looked as a aspect for measurement about whether or not they count as CEUs or not. And I would actually love to get some of our training programs certified with CEUs also, but I absolutely love that idea. Anybody else have anything that they are interested, either what is working or what is not working, that they would like to discuss? You can raise your hand or type it in the chat. All right, so next up. All right, so what we need from you. I talked a little bit. Oh, yay, April's been able to get 2 certs. So I talked a little bit about what we need in terms of volunteers. So we're nonprofits, so all of the people who bring you the events, the trainings, et cetera, are volunteers. Our, what is it called? Our practical skills labs instructors are 1099 contractors, so they are paid. But for the most part, all of the people who do the day-to-day and the volunteer things, the day-to-day of the organization are volunteers. So we need more volunteers. I've got some of the positions listed on the website. I think I just saw somebody said that they were a finance girly. Please, like, come talk to me. I have a whole MBA, and my eyes still glaze over. So like, we need all of the help. We need blogs, and I mean like human-made blogs, and not like necessarily AI-made blogs, because there's a lot of people who are putting out content from AI, but I appreciate hearing human experience, and that could be like, hey, I went to a conference, or hey, this is what I did, whatever. Or it could be like, hey, this is something that I'm interested about as I'm attempting to establish my brand in the industry, and I want to write more about that. Those are all options. Volunteers who lead study groups get their vouchers paid for. So if you will lead a study group that basically involves like, hey, here's a book, we'll go through the chapters, I'll develop some slide for the study group, we will pay for your voucher. So like, there's opportunities. Volunteers who lead workshops also get free swag, access to exclusive member benefits. So some of the things that folks got in the past year or so, OSCP vouchers, CompTIA vouchers, swag, paid training, and networking opportunities. We take a lot of people with us, especially when we go to conferences. We are going to RSA in February, March or something like that, and we're bringing in 25 people with us. So like, there are opportunities to network, to meet people, to get jobs. So there are people who are basically, had their thigh out working on their branding and, putting themselves out there, and are able to, say that they've gotten jobs and certifications and all of the things. So, we need you, but then there are also ways that you can grow from this experience as well. Yes, happy hacking holidays. So happy hacking holidays. So it's basically within teams, we've basically been having daily programs going on where we're giving away either trainings or gift certificates or any number of things, which reminds me that the next number on the survey is going to be number 25. There are 2 people who have number 25. So if you completed our survey, and you put your number guess in 25, you have won. So I will drop that survey again in case anybody has not completed it. All right, so what do you need from us? We had a bunch of trainings this year, practical skills labs, workshops. One of the biggest things that I heard from our I think it was our Q2 town hall, was that we needed more cloud things. So that's why we have the cloud training program. One of the things that I've heard recently has been bug bounty. So we're currently working on a bug bounty program as well. So what would you like to see? What kind of trends, like what kind of training, what kind of hands-on skills do you need? And you can unmute yourself or type it into the chat if you like. Or if you are like, hey, I'm not a baby hacker anymore, I'm an intermediate hacker and I need these things, that's a valid thing. So, you know, if we have enough people who want the things, then we will do them. So what needs are we not being met? What needs are we not meeting right now? Bug bounty, OWASP top 10, okay. I just want to also mention, we have a web security training program for OWASP Top 10 from our friends at Masterfully. So we have that training available for anybody who is interested in that, but we can bring some more things. Yes, can we bring back workshops to help set up home labs? Absolutely, we will be doing in January at some point our New Year, New Labs. So I will at least do one of those and then the second training. Which will be like what to do in your home lab once you have it. Let's see, is there any training for GRC? We do not, but we are working on a training program, like a 0 to whatever training program for that, but that is something that we can definitely work on. Rashida.
Just to piggyback on the home lab, can we have Mac instructions also? I was in one, like, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but it was a struggle.
So this is the problem. Absolutely, I agree. My husband actually just bought me a MacBook Pro for my birthday. So like it literally just came last week. So I am currently in the process of working on like home lab, what that looks like in the Mac so that I can include that in our, you know, how do you set up your home lab, but from a Mac perspective, because I have the, you know, the PC and the VMware perspective, but not necessarily the Mac. So I'm currently working on that. But I received, and I agree. Did you have anything else? Did I miss anything from that besides the Mac? You said the home lab, but for Macs, right? Day in a life from a cloud engineer or architect? Absolutely. Do we have any training for the CompTIA Pentest Plus course or exam? We do not. We have training. So, and Tracy, you actually won a prize because you were the first person who came in here. So I can absolutely get you the Pentest Plus training and voucher for you. But if you want, if there are enough people who want to do a Pentest Plus, so like if you rally the troops and teams and you find like at least 5-10 people who want to participate, we can do that. That's not a problem. Nessa's training. Ooh, I'm gonna have to reach out to them because they be charging $1 or something. Let me see what I can do about that. But that's a good idea. Not a problem. You had it on MacBook and you were lost. Okay, that's fair. So we're gonna work that out. Because like I said, I just got my Mac, so I'm gonna start working on that. Splunk training. Ooh, y'all jumping out here, huh? I think that there is some I think that there is Splunk training within Rangeforce. I am not positive, but I will take a note and provide an update on that. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Tracy, with the I. Sorry. Yes, so there is Splunk and transport. Oh, Blue Team Intermediate. Okay. You blue teamers trying to take over the world. I'm here for it. Toastmasters. Beck and I actually talked about this a couple of weeks ago. All right, so it is almost 7 o'clock, but I don't want to hold people up from Friday Night Labs. If anybody wants to get there, I will open us up for, let's call it 5 to 10 more minutes. If anybody has any final thoughts or anything that they want to talk about. Okay. Tracy can help with OSINT. Anything anybody want to mention? All right, so if you are interested in volunteering, Kiana, who is in here, she is also available in Teams. She is our current director of volunteering. So if you're interested in volunteering, you can reach out to Kiana. If you need a mentor, there is a channel within Teams where you can sign up to either have your resume reviewed, you can sign up for a mock interview, or you can sign up to get a mentor. So we have those programs available. If you need time on my calendar, our director of operations and my executive assistant is Gina. She can help you get time on my calendar. If you need something to help with your world domination plan. Oh, Jackie says she wants to do, all right. Hey, okay, Jackie. Can you write that down before I forget, because that's important. Jackie says she can do EJPT, OSCP, or CPTS. I'm here for it. All right, any last minute thoughts? Oh yes, don't aim for the next day, please. Please be respectful of Gina's life. CPTS. Any other final thoughts? Beck said, holler at her if you need anything for the blogs, or if you're interested in volunteering for the operations team or any of those things. That's her email address. Any other questions that I did not answer or that you would like an answer now that you've got like a bunch of our team here? Shout out to, I see a whole bunch of our 0 to OSCP folks in here, and I also see some of our BOSA, Brain Offensive Security people who in here who just finished their level 1s. Excited for you.
Right. I need my Black Girls Hack email password reset. So
awesome.
Who do I research for that?
I feel like Aush is the person. GRC training is beginning in Monday. Aush is the person. Oh, April can do it too. So email April. You can send her a message.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Awesome. All right. Well, I will wrap this up. If you need anything from me, as always, I'm usually lurking within Teams. I just want to mention, somebody had asked earlier about like, hey, what to do when you get in Teams. There is a welcome channel when you get in Teams, and it's at the bottom and it says welcome to BDH, and it has a presentation in here about how to navigate within here and what to do, and about the organization. So if you have not actually seen this, you might want to check it out. But any other questions, let me know, and we will be happy to help you out. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.